If you've played Five Nights at Freddy's, you already know that the animatronics are more than just robots. They're not just machines programmed to entertain children during the day and hunt night guards at night. There's something alive inside them, something broken, vengeful, and tragic. Behind their smiles and songs, behind the flashing eyes and metallic shells, the main animatronics, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy, each have a dark story to tell. They're the heart of the franchise, and they carry the weight of everything that went wrong inside the walls of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. So today, we're diving deep into their lore, where they came from, who's really inside them, and what they represent in the twisted world of Five Nights at Freddy's. Freddy Fazbear, the face of the franchise. Let's start with the bear himself, Freddy Fazbear. On the surface, Freddy is the star of the show, the lead singer of the band, the friendly mascot kids are supposed to love. But behind the smiling exterior lies one of the darkest mysteries in the series. Freddy, like the other main animatronics, is believed to be possessed by one of the missing children murdered during the infamous incident at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Fans believe that Freddy's soul belongs to Gabriel, one of the 5 victims lured into the back room by William Afton, also known as the Purple Guy. After their deaths, the children's spirits attach themselves to the suits, giving them life long after the murders. Freddy, as the leader, represents something more: control, patience, and judgment. He's not the most aggressive animatronic, but he's the one who always finds you in the end. His deep laugh, his glowing eyes in the dark, his slow, steady approach, all of it gives him a sense of intelligence and purpose that the others lack. Freddy's design also changes throughout the series, from his original brown suit to Withered Freddy, Toy Freddy, and later, Glamrock Freddy in Security Breach. Each version feels like a reflection of how the franchise evolved, from pure horror to tragedy to eventual redemption. And while each iteration of Freddy has a different personality, one theme remains constant. Freddy is the face of the pizzeria, but he's also the face of everything it hides. Bonnie the Bunny, the first to move. Next up is Bonnie the Bunny, the blue animatronic guitarist of the band, and for many players, the one who caused the first real scare. In the original Five Nights at Freddy's, Bonnie is often the first to move from the stage, wandering down hallways toward your office, his glowing eyes piercing through the darkness. There's something especially unsettling about Bonnie, maybe because he moves silently, appearing without warning, as if he enjoys hunting rather than simply attacking. Lore-wise, Bonnie is believed to be possessed by the spirit of Jeremy, another one of Afton's victims. In the early games, Bonnie doesn't have much personality beyond his role as a killer animatronic. But as the series progressed, fans started noticing small details that hinted at something deeper, a sadness behind his aggression. In FNAF Help Wanted, there's even a minigame called Parts and Service, where you repair Bonnie and realize his eyes have been removed. He's aware of his own disrepair. He's aware that something's missing. It gives Bonnie this eerie sense of consciousness, a being that knows he's not whole, yet keeps moving anyway. Bonnie's various forms, from Withered Bonnie to Shadow Bonnie, and even the terrifying Glitchtrap-like versions, suggest that he's one of the most spiritually active animatronics in the series. He's not just haunted, he's aware of being haunted. Chica the Chicken, the soul of hunger. Then we have Chica the Chicken, the backup singer and one of the most iconic faces in FNAF, always holding her cupcake and wearing her bib that reads, "Let's eat." Chica represents something deceptively innocent, a character meant to make children feel safe. But when the lights go out, that smile turns into something predatory. Chica's wide eyes, broken jaw, and haunting stare symbolize gluttony and consumption, both literal and emotional. In the lore, Chica is believed to be possessed by Susie, another child victim of William Afton. Susie's death is particularly tragic. In one of the minigames from FNAF 6, Pizzeria Simulator, we see Afton lure her away using her beloved dog, manipulating her compassion before taking her life. After that, her soul finds its way into Chica's suit, forever trapped between the need to eat and the pain of being betrayed. Every version of Chica, whether it's the broken, withered form, the toy version, or the horrifying nightmare Chica, seems to reflect her inner torment. Her beak falls off, her eyes bulge, and her body deteriorates, almost as if her hunger for revenge is literally tearing her apart. In Security Breach, Glamrock Chica even scavenges through garbage and tries to consume anything she can find, a dark, symbolic echo of the soul inside her that can never be satisfied. Foxy the Pirate, the outcast. Now we move on to one of the fan favorites, Foxy the Pirate. From the very beginning, Foxy stood out from the others. While Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica perform together on stage, Foxy is isolated in Pirate Cove, hidden behind curtains and labeled out of order. His movements are fast, his personality chaotic, and his design more damaged than the others, making him both terrifying and strangely sympathetic. Foxy is believed to be possessed by Fritz, another one of the murdered children. Unlike the others, Foxy seems almost aware of what he's become. Some fans interpret his isolation as punishment, either from Fazbear Entertainment trying to cover up his erratic behavior, or from the spirit within him being too aware of the curse. He sprints down hallways, almost desperate, as if he's trying to escape something rather than attack. And when he gets you, his face fills the screen, but there's pain in that roar, not just malice. Later versions, like Mangle from Fnaf 2, continue this theme of brokenness and self-awareness. Mangle was torn apart and constantly rebuilt by children, creating a chaotic, patchwork version of what once was Foxy's design. Many fans see Mangle as Foxy's evolution, a representation of how the cycle of violence and carelessness at Fazbear Entertainment never truly ends. Foxy is the rebel, the outcast, and the one who seems to remember that he wasn't always a monster. Golden Freddy, the spirit of revenge. And finally, we have the most mysterious animatronic of all, Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy is the one that breaks every rule. He doesn't walk, he doesn't appear on stage, and he doesn't act like a normal animatronic. Instead, he materializes out of nowhere, often slumped and lifeless, before suddenly springing to life and crashing your game. Golden Freddy's existence is the biggest clue that something supernatural lies at the heart of Fnaf. Fans believe he is possessed by the spirit of the crying child or possibly another victim named Cassidy, a child consumed by vengeance. Some versions of the theory even suggest that Golden Freddy houses two souls, the vengeful one and the soul of the innocent crying child, locked in an eternal struggle. This would explain why Golden Freddy appears inconsistently throughout the games, sometimes as an ally, sometimes as a threat, and sometimes as something beyond either. He's not tied to physical space or time. He represents the unfinished business of every child who was wronged, every tragedy left unresolved. In Fnaf 6, Pizzeria Simulator, it's heavily implied that Golden Freddy's spirit is finally put to rest, but even that moment feels uncertain, because in Five Nights at Freddy's, nothing ever truly ends. When you put all these animatronics together, a pattern starts to form. Each one represents a different facet of tragedy. Freddy, the leader, carries the weight of lost innocence. Bonnie reflects broken identity. Chica embodies hunger for revenge. Foxy symbolizes isolation and guilt. And Golden Freddy stands for pure vengeance, the echo of justice that was never served. Their haunting behaviors, the sounds they make, even the way they move all serve as expressions of the emotions trapped inside them. They're not just machines gone rogue, they're victims, reliving their pain every single night. Over time, as Fazbear Entertainment rebuilt and rebranded, the animatronics evolved, but the curse remained. The company could change their designs, their names, their technology, but they could never erase what was inside. Every new version, Toy Freddy, Glamrock Freddy, Shadow Bonnie, or Circus Baby, carries traces of the original sins. And maybe that's the true horror of Five Nights at Freddy's. Not that the animatronics are haunted, but that the people who made them knew they were, and kept rebuilding them anyway. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the lore of the main Fnaf animatronics, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, which animatronic do you think has the most tragic story? Because at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, every smile hides a scream, and every song has a ghost behind it.